We have spent all our time fighting and tweaking a single enemy type. Now it's time to introduce new enemies to the game. We were always going to add more enemy types to our game, but our current models just didn't look good enough. We took inspiration from what we had and designed completely new enemies from scratch.
Nice.
Once the enemy models were done, we set up texture palette to give them some color. After that, we unwrapped the UVs of the enemy mesh and mapped them onto the color palette to define the color placement for each section. Once the UVs are set, we assign specific materials to ensure the lightning reacts appropriately to the metal, armor, and the leather surfaces. For the next step, the enemy needs a skeleton before it can be animated. We used a free tool called AccuRIG to generate a full skeletal rig right down to the fingers, getting it fully prepped for animations. Now that our enemy character is fully prepared, it's time to chop them into pieces for our Gore system. In our custom build system, we created two different stuntmen for the Gore mechanics. You can check out the video on our channel to see how our Gore system works. The first stuntman we made had its head and arms severed. So for this enemy, we started by detaching the head and arms. But this approach looked awful on these new enemies. You could clearly see the gaps where every body part was meant to detach. To solve this problem, we created 10 different meshes for every possible dismemberment scenario. As for the cutting process, first we select the part to be severed and separate it from the body. Then we fill the resulting gaps and assign the materials. After that, we properly assign the bones, reattach it to the body, and it's finally ready to be dismembered. During the bone assignment process, we ran into some naming issues while assigning the bones, which we quickly fixed by executing a script in Blender. After importing our stuntman into Unreal, here is the result. Moving on to the other improvements. We set up Foley and structural sound effects for the player and the enemy characters. We created our own sound design for the first enemies. Let's add the sounds one by one and see together how they change the gameplay. Now let's put it all together and see how it changes everything. Okay guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to mention your thoughts and suggestions about our video in the comments. Subscribe for the next chapters. Bye! We are finally on Steam. Make sure to wishlist the game to stay updated and support our journey.